Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, breaking news from RMU football. There could be a new gunslinger in town. Also, offensive lineman Johnny Hill talks the Monmouth game for homecoming, and he's going to like it. Two brothers for men's hockey. They're playing together now. It's high school reunion coming up next. That was kind of unprofessional, Johnny Hill.
Everybody makes mistakes. I mean, you had the John in there, so.
You're a Johnny to me. I'm a Johnny to you. Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. You know, we have a huge show coming up. Let's just get right to it. In life, sometimes change is a good thing. For the sports world, it could be the addition of a new coach, linebacker, or even a water boy. Yes, Adam Sandler made one good movie. This change comes from under center. Yes, according to RMU Century Media's Chris Mueller, junior quarterback Derek Abbott will get the start against Monmouth on homecoming this Saturday. After an abysmal 0-4 start, the Colonials will lean on Abbott for their first victory of the season. It's a comeback story for the ages, as Abbott is returning from a labral tear surgery last season, and I can relate, having a terrible labrum myself. But to offensive coordinator Darren Hicks on Derek Abbott, I go back to when we had chosen Luke to be the starting quarterback. We had a sit down and I talked to Derek and told him, you never know what's going to happen during the season. I need you to prepare yourself like you are the starter. And he did everything we asked him to do and more, end quote. And let's go to the man himself, Derek Abbott. Quote, when Luke was named the starter and we struggled out of the gate, I never sat there and petitioned for me to start. I always wanted to make sure I was there for Luke and help him any way that I could, because you put team first. But at the same time, I knew I had to get ready for myself and prepared every week like I would be the starter. Wise words from an upperclassman, Derek Abbott. So let's go to some upperclassmen ourselves to talk more on the game this coming Saturday and his first start of the year. Guys, Chris Mueller, it's Chris squared. Chris Mueller, Chris Capella, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for, as always, great time here on the desk. Love to talk RMU football.
Pretty fired up, John.
Well, short and to the point. So, the news here, Derek Abbott, new starting quarterback. After a labral tear, it's going to be a challenge, number one, and number two, it's homecoming. There's a whole nother pressure right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really confident. From a preparation standpoint, Derek does all the right things you'd want in a quarterback. He did tear his labrum last year, but that's fully healed. He's ready to go. Yeah, and he's just been playing well. I think he deserves the opportunity now that he is named the starting quarterback, and it's big for him to come out there early on Saturday and get it and establish a rhythm.
Right, and on the field, he kind of brings a different style than what we've seen from Luke, who's more of a traditional pocket passer. Derek's going to use his legs a little more. They've said we're going to install, a few more running plays for the quarterback, and he's going to have that working to him. And really, when the offense has struggled the way it has, 8.2 points per game, which is third worst in FCS football. You need a spark, you need a spark, and Abbott's going to try and bring it.
Talking about another spark, Nick Lamica, former linebacker, will now be catching the ball as a wide receiver. Is he going to provide the spark that they need in the passing game as well?
That's the hope, and they have struggled just in the passing game in general. Lamica's a big guy, 6'4", 225, was a really impressive wide receiver in high school. The coaches loved his tape out as a wide receiver, and they just looked at his athleticism and said, we could probably play him at outside linebacker. And they did. They think it might have been a mistake, so he's back at wide receiver. It's going to be interesting. They're going to try and use him a ton.
Yeah, and Nick, he's an extremely athletic guy. We've seen after practice now, the bye week and now this week, just working with Derek, getting extra reps, running routes, and they really felt that they weren't losing a sense of production on defense, because now you have a guy like Jimmy Mason, someone who's been around, stepping in now for him. He actually stepped in for Luke Mueller in week 1 when he was suspended against Eastern Kentucky, and Jimmy did play well. So they're looking now just for Nick to provide a big play threat alongside Dwayne Mitchell, especially that freshman receiver Jamison Williams. He's out with a high ankle sprain. So yeah, that's what they're looking for from Nick, but it might take a little bit of time. This is his first game at receiver.
We're running out of time, so let's get this in quick. Let's talk Monmouth. They're 3-1 going against an RMU team that's 0-4. Clearly there's an advantage there for the away team coming in, but it is homecoming in a matinee. It's not the night game, so we're not going to get that same level of passion from the fans. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Monmouth last year beat the Colonials 35-9 in New Jersey. They are a very good team, 3-1 with wins over Wagner and Patriot League team Lehigh a week ago. But they did fall to Duquesne. So it's really, Robert Morris does have a chance, but it's going to be big for them to come out, and it all stems back on the offense for them.
Yeah, have to move the ball early. I think getting off to a good start is going to be key. Like we've seen the past few games, Robert Morris just hasn't, whether it's offensively and defensively in the Dayton game. they didn't either. There's some miscommunication with the secondary. Big task at hand. I know you have John Hill coming on. He's going to have his hands full with a really good Monmouth defensive line. So it is going to be a really tough game. But, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see how the matchups play out.
Very quickly, predictions from both of you.
I'll say Monmouth comes out with a win. I just think they're too high-powered of a team. Robert Morris, I think, will take a step in the right direction, but I'd say like a 24-10 ball game, something around there.
I think we're going to see some more points from Robert Morris. Only one game this year, 2 touchdowns for the offense. But I do think it's going to be one where they'll end up on the losing end. Do you want a score? I can give you a score if you want to.
Give me a score.
31-20, a little closer.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please come back. I don't care if we're in the middle of rolling. Just come back. We love having you guys on. We'll see how the Colonials do on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks. And make sure to turn into RMU No Huddle twice a week on RMU Radio. We're talking some RMU football tomorrow. We got a pregame show coming out that will air on homecoming day, so it should be fun.
Well, how about you teasing? Now we're going to go to 2 of my favorite friends, Johnny and Haley. So, more football coming up. Don't forget, Haley, a little something from you.
We'll be talking to John Hill from. Sorry, I thought you were going to do all the teasing, and I was just going to sit here. But yeah, we'll be with you later with me and John Hill. We're going to talk a little bit about RMU football, a little bit about the O-line, see what they've got going on, and how they're going to adapt to the changes that Derek Abbott is going to bring.
Guys, thank you so much. Let's move on to volleyball. It's been a rocky start to the volleyball team's 2014 campaign. In fact, coming into last weekend, RMU was looking for their very first win. Do you smell that sports, Haley? Because it was sports giving off that scent. Moving on to the Charles L. Soul Center for the first highlight of tonight's program. Alex Lolan with the bump and set. She'll send it over. We're going to watch Melissa Bograd. We have an interesting note about her passing some Colonials in the record books. She sets up the kill by Becky J. Moving on to the second set. Nice of you to join me.
It's nice to be back.
Of course it is. Set point for Robert Morris. Maddie Gibbons for no, it's going to be rejected. Leah Donovan. We might see that a little later in my favorite part of the show forever, and it's a tight game. Set point, Hannah Hoffman to Leah Donovan, and that's game over. A deadly combination of April Kravonik as well as Leah Donovan took out the Knights, who don't say knee in a sweep. Get those brooms out. Senior Melissa Bograd continued her dominance in the trenches with 18 digs, now 6th place all time in that category.
And the team also swept Sacred Heart the very next day. It's been a quick turnaround since non-conference play for the team, and Ian Kidd is here to tell us why.
What does RMU's hot conference start say about the rest of the season? We sat down with Leah Donovan and Erica Robb to find out.
I think it progresses pretty well. The harder teams that we play are above 100 usually, and teams we play are usually lower 200s, higher 300s. So it's a big difference going from that high caliber team to the level that we have to play in our conference.
This weekend was a springboard for the team, taking them from a lackluster group to a polished and very confident unit.
Oh, I think it's huge. We couldn't have asked for a better way to start.
It gives us a huge boost. Like at the end, every single set counts for like tiebreakers that we have to go through, and sweeping teams is a huge deal. The less sets you have to go through, the better.
RMU senior leader Erica Robb describes what it will take for the 2014 Colonials to clinch an NEC championship.
It takes hard work and knowing what the goal is, not giving any team slack, which, you know, that's what we did this weekend. We didn't take anything from them, and we got to play our hardest all the time. And if one person's having a bad game, then everyone on the bench has got to be ready to come in and help us out. So we're absolutely capable of doing it, but we got to show up every day on game day ready to win.
After enduring a painful start to this year, Robert Morris Volleyball has gotten itself back on the right track to an NEC title. For CSC, I'm Ian Kidd.
Thanks, Ian. 2010 men's basketball alum Dallas Green has signed a professional contract. The forward agreed to terms with CDU Concepción of Liga Nacional in Chile. This is Green's second year in the league. Last year with AB Ancud, sorry about that, he averaged 23.7 points and 13.1 rebounds in 21 games. This is his third year altogether in Chile. As a Colonial, he helped the team to the NIT tournament and back-to-back NCAA tournaments. There's a lot of Spanish in there.
Dondes noches, el polo,
English is
something,
my
something
first
Breaking Bad.
language.
So still on the show, we go to women's hockey. 2 games against Bemidji State. Also, one player scored her first goal in 80 games. We don't know who it's going to be. Do you?
I don't know.
Coming up next, you'll find out.
Of course, I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, like, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sports Center every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on RMU-CentralMedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
Romo, have you downloaded the app?
Roma, have you seen this app?
Hey, have you seen the app yet? No? All right, put it down. I'll show you what you can do. All you have to do is install it, and it'll open up for you. My favorite part of it is the police blotter. Check this out. When you click into it, you're going to go right to the top left, and as soon as you click on it, everything will be there that you need, so you can stay safe.
Download the RMU Century Media app on the App Store. Roma likes it, and so will you.
Welcome back. The women's hockey team was off to a hot start after their landside exhibition victory. Could they keep the momentum going? Let's head to the 84 Lumber Arena to find out.
What if I don't want to go that far? That's all the way down Coriopolis. They're trying to fix the bridge.
Oh,
there's nowhere to drive.
Here's a goal on Jessica Dodds. Not looking so good already. Battle for the puck along the boards. Bemidji wins it. Caitlin Tugas gets the puck. Passes from the point. Bemidji tries to tap it in. Can't do it. Colonials fight for the puck again and lose it. Madison Hutchinson gathers it and shoots from the top of the face-off circle for the first goal of the night.
You could have
goes
had a
to
Starsky
Bemidji.
and Hutch reference. Hutchinson.
I guess I could. Well, Hutchinson. Anyway, Hutchinson passes to Ivana Billick. 2 more passes. Beavers get it tic-tac-toe. Brittany Howard goes tape to tape with Rebecca Vint, who snipes it for the first Colonial goal of the evening. Third period. Skipping the second period.
You know who they need to come back in this game? Bodie James.
Coast to coast. Jessica Dodd says blocks it. Kelsey Gunn sends it to Maeve Garvey, who sends it to Erin Stanuski with a ripper for her first ever goal as a Colonial.
80 games, folks.
80 games, all tied up at 2. Stephanie Anderson waits at the point. Power play goal for Bemidji. Tugas wheels down the ice, snaps it in. Dodds just isn't fast enough for that one.
We might see that play later.
We could.
Something.
Christine Grenier for the shot. Gunn attempts to block it, but Megan Lushenko scores anyway. Not a good day for the defense for the women's hockey team. The weekend didn't start off well for the ladies. The Beavers gnawed at the defense and came out on top with a 5-2 victory. This is the second straight year that the Colonials have dropped a season opener. Rebecca Vint had a goal, and Erin Stanusi had the first goal of her career. Maeve Garvey had 2 shots and an assist. Jessica Dodds turned away 30 pucks.
At first, when I saw that RMU played BMS, I got really excited until I realized that Thad Castle hates hockey. Well, in that case, the red and white tackled Bemidji State for the second day in a row. You get it? BMS, Bemidji State?
I get it.
BMS, okay. So I'm going to get away from that, and we're going to go back to the 84 Lumber Arena. Mackenzie Johnston to Maeve Garvey on the backhand, stopped by Erin Dieters. She put out all the stops tonight.
Yeah, Maeve Garvey all over the place.
She is, and so is Erin Stanuski. It just, you know, her second in 81 games. But let's not nitpick. 1-0 Robert Morris. We're going to see Brittany Howard shot and a better save by Dieters. Ricky Mayer pushes the rebound wide. It could have been 2-0, and that might have, you know, well, you saw it. Jessica Filipczyk through the wickets. It's tied at 1-1 going into the third period. If Mayer could have put that in, it could have been a whole different ball game or ice match. Kaylee Chapman gets the gift from the hockey gods, 2-1 BMS. You see it right there off the skates. Nothing you can do there.
Bad bounces. Bad bounce amongst bad bounces.
Bad bounces indeed. So Stephanie Anderson, you talked about her in your highlight. Well, she did it again. This time, it's not even fair. There wasn't even a goalie to try and stop it. So who really counts? 3-1 Bemidji State in a more of a defensive game. RMU dropped the weekend series in a sweep. Bemidji State became the first team since 2012-2013 to sweep Robert Morris in a 2-game series. On the plus side, one woman specifically broke her 80-game scoreless drought, and the CHA even awarded her for it. And I think we've talked about her enough tonight.
At least 3 times.
At least 3 times. Her name is Erin Stanewski, and the CHA honored her as their Player of the Week. Stanewski's first CHA honor came from her first 2 goals of her career. The senior defenseman accumulated 4 points, all helpers in her first 80 games. After taking it all in, here's more. She became the first Colonial defenseman to earn Player of the Week honors since Kylie St. Louis, yes, the woman that punched Mercy Hurst in the face. The award, she shared the award with Kelsey Thomas in November of 2011.
I will never forget that game, will we?
Never forget.
Hockey has seen some pretty famous brothers on all levels. The Sadines, the Stalls, and the Hanson brothers, just to name a few. RMU has their own set of siblings as well. Audrey Gardner is here to tell us all about it.
I'm Evan Moore. I'm a junior and I'm defenseman.
I'm Timmy Moore. I'm a forward. I'm a freshman.
Right. How well you know the other brother, huh? I think I'm the biggest instigator.
Yvonne.
What? Turbo.
Oh, yeah, turbo.
Hockey has been a family sport for years, so it's not uncommon to see siblings playing together. This season, the RMU men's hockey team welcomes its 3rd set of brothers, Michigan natives Evan and Timmy Moore.
I think right after the new year, then I decided to come.
My reaction was, I was really excited. I didn't think we'd play together after high school.
Evan and Timmy follow in the footsteps of the Cohen brothers and the South brothers. Evan, a junior defenseman, and Timmy, a freshman forward, grew up in Detroit alongside Evan's twin brother, Matt. This season is the boys' first season playing together since high school.
My sophomore year of high school, playing with Evan and Matthew in high school. Their senior year, we won regionals, and that was the last time all 3 of us probably will ever play together. So,
for the next 2 years, Evan and Timmy will be teammates. Once those 2 years come to a conclusion, they'll always be brothers. Reporting from the 84 Lumber Arena, I'm Audrey Gardner, Colonial Sports Center.
Thank you, Audrey, and great puck catching skills, I must say.
I didn't do that in any of mine.
Me neither. In preparation for Pitt, RMU needed quick wit. The Panthers are fast, smart, and above all else, have a big heart. Luckily for RMU, they didn't have a hex. To find out, let's travel across the way to the North Athletic Complex. You said I wasn't a poet? Well, take that.
You can't write a haiku, but you can rhyme.
Haikus are, harnish law, and he's going to bend it like Beckham. Well, you see it? It bend space and time. He's that good. 1-0 Pitt at the half. Andrew Wright, he's going to do a little Lionel Messi, and let's just pull out all the stops. Dan Preet with the scrumptious header. 2-0 Pitt. It was tasty. It really was. So Nico Brett, leading goal scorer, but Dan Lind, even better. Props to you, sir. No one can stop Brett like that, but he just did. Despite Nico Brett's 3 shots, Pitt escaped with the shutout. On Tuesday, they weren't able to connect on several early opportunities to score on goaltender Dan Lind, who put up a goose egg against the Colonials. According to Harnish's Law, get it? A goal needed to be scored, and you can't disagree with Harnish's Law. Now, can you?
I don't think I can. You think playing soccer is easy? Well, think again. Kristen Kudla and Dante Verme tried their skills at some footy in this week's Put Me In Coach.
Have you ever thought about how you'd compete against a Division I athlete? Well, here at the North Athletic Complex, Dante and I had that opportunity.
Yes, us 2 average Joes have a chance to take on 2 members of the women's Colonial soccer team here today in a round of competitions to see if we can beat them.
Well,
All right, we're here. It's time for the penalty shootout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how it happened, but Dante and I made a comeback of the century.
Dante's so hot right now, he's steaming.
Now, girls, thank you so much for helping us out. We'll be looking forward to the rematch soon. And we'd like to thank everybody involved with filming this. I'm Kristen Kudla.
I'm Dante Verme. This is Colonial Sports Center.
Well, that
Never
was
seen anything
awesome.
like that before on the show.
More
that's for
Put Me In,
sure.
Coach, coming in the next few weeks. So what do we have coming up?
Definitely. Coming up, we have, I'm going to be sitting down actually with John Hill, so make sure you stick around.
Of course, I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, like, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sports Center every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on RMU-CentralMedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
They are the Red Sea. They need to be able to feed themselves. Penn State couldn't beat the Colonials in a game. It truly was a shame. And then Sacred Heart pioneered.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the art!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Haley Sawyer here with John Hill, right tackle for RMU Colonial football. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Now, as we talked about earlier, Derek Abbott's going to be the new quarterback in town. So how has the offensive line kind of had to adjust for him coming in?
Well, coming from the O-line, I think the biggest thing for us is to, just do all that we can do so that Derek feels comfortable in the game setting, especially early on. I mean, if we can protect, so he doesn't get touched in the beginning, so he can really get into his groove, I think that'll be really key for us.
What's the biggest difference between working with Brumbaugh and working with Abbott?
From an O-line, I mean, we really, our assignment-wise, we don't change much. Obviously, Derek runs more. Luke's more of a pocket guy. So, I kind of like a little scramble every now and then because I get to run out and hit someone, which is nice, other than just sitting there and blocking in the pocket. So.
Nice. What has Coach Richardson been telling you in preparation for this?
Well, Rich, I mean, he pretty much we prepare the same every week. Obviously, with our bye week, we had plenty of time to really break down Monmouth and look at what they got, and we feel more confident, assignment-wise about with coming into this week than we do any other week.
And then this year we have a pretty young offensive line, two who actually even had their first career starts this season. What have been some of the challenges working with so much youth?
Well, we're working with, I mean, our whole team is young. I think the biggest thing with the young guys is I think we really need to get more of a start off the bat. I think one of our biggest problems has been starting slow. If we come out and we get down early, you see a lot of the young guys, hanging their heads, and I think that's up to me as a senior and a captain to really get them going and be like, hey, there's still plenty of game left, and really figure things out. So.
And then coming up this weekend, we have Monmouth, which is the last non-conference game. What are you kind of looking to fix before you head into that conference play, which is a lot more important?
Well, obviously the biggest thing we want to fix is get a win. We'd love to have a win going into conference play. That would definitely give the team, and all the guys, a lot of confidence going into that. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for being with us tonight, John.
Thank you so much, Haley.
And good luck this weekend.
Alrighty.
And coming up after the break, we are going to have something special for you guys, the first ever primetime plays of the semester. So make sure you stay with us.
Nicaragua is a completely different world. We were there to bring nursing care to some desperate people.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
The very first person that I met was David. Kept saying, "You have to come to my house and watch me play my trumpet." You could tell from the look on his face that it was just his most prized possession. I get back home. A few weeks later, I got a message that a gang had broken into his house at night and they stole it, which was his life. So next trip back, we gave him a new one. The look on his face was just complete disbelief. He just absolutely couldn't believe it. And to be able to do something like that was one of the best moments of my life. He said he'd never forget us.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
It's finally back.
Yes, for
the
first time.
The giddiness is unparalleled.
I can't contain myself. I'm standing up right now.
I feel like Sheldon Cooper going to Comic-Con. Stanuski, the drought stopper. Number 3. Number 2.
Number 2, soccer. We showed you this earlier, but it's even better the second time. Freeze heads it in for a goal.
And number 1, Caitlin. Toga. It's just not fair. And Animal House is a great movie. And that's Prep Time Plays of the Week. I'm so glad it's back. So, the upcoming schedule.
Upcoming schedule this Friday: women's soccer versus CCSU, women's hockey at Maine. Women's hockey at Maine, they're on their way there right now, I think. Volleyball at CCSU, football versus Monmouth, men's hockey versus Ryerson, exhibition.
On Sunday, we have some women's soccer followed by men's soccer on the same field. What? And volleyball takes on Bryant, trying to make it 3-0 in the NEC.
Right. Also, homecoming. Homecoming this weekend, huge deal. Make sure you come out, support our football team.
And that's your week ahead in Colonial athletics. So it is homecoming. We urge you all to be safe. Don't do anything that I wouldn't. And just have some fun. Enjoy the alums.
That's right. Make sure you come to the game, too. Could be a win.
It could be a win against the Hawks. Next week, we will have starting quarterback Derek Abbott in studio to talk more about his opportunity to make it big in the Northeast Conference.
Can't wait. Make sure you come back.
Just like Bart Scott said, can't wait. I'll see you all next week. Take care. Make sure you keep it real, okay?
Keep it classy.